Hey, what's up? I'm LP. Filmmaking is many things, but as a crew member, one of the most important things is anticipating. When you're on set in any department, one of your main responsibilities is to try and anticipate what's going to happen next and what you might need next. You may already know what scene is coming up next or what shot is coming up next because of a schedule, a pre-made schedule that they've made for that day, but as we know, everything on a film set changes, so you have to be ready for that. So let's say you're in the art department or you're in the props department. In pre-production, they're gonna say, we want this specific, look for the set and we want these specific props, and they may approve them. You'll go through that whole process and you'll pick some stuff out and then, the director will approve them or the client will approve them if it's a commercial. And you show up on set and you're like, oh, that painting in the back, do we have another painting? Can we switch that out? Or maybe they don't like that specific prop they chose, maybe have a slightly different version of that ready for them to look at. You want to anticipate that those things will probably change and you want to have options available for when they do. So the same thing goes for wardrobe. You want to have multiple options available when you're on set because, like again, they may pre-approve in pre-production a specific look for one person, but then they show up on set and they're like, the colors don't quite fit with the set or they don't work well on camera. And so they might want to change a shirt to a different color or even a different pattern by having multiple options available. Even if it's already been decided, that like they for sure want this particular shirt, it still could change and the chances of it changing are pretty high. So anticipating can look different for each department. So if you're a grip and let's say, the camera operator or the DP is like, oh, we need an apple box here for the camera. Don't just bring one full apple box, bring two full apples or even bring a full apple, a half and a quarter because maybe they get that you bring that one full apple and they're like, oh, this is too high, we need to go, a half apple. And so you already have it, it's right there ready to go. And you just boop, switch them right out and you're good to go. Now you can do the shot. Bring the extra stuff with you. Don't just bring what that one thing they specifically asked for because again, things are constantly changing and they're just kind of guessing, they're like, oh, let's try. They're saying like, let's try a full apple. And so it may not be the correct solution for what they're trying to solve. And so you want to have those multiple options available and anticipate that. Another example, if you're a grip, maybe your key grip calls you on the walkie and says, hey, grab a C-stand, we need it for this 4x4 floppy, right? And so don't just grab the C-stand because if you're setting something up on a C-stand, you always need a sandbag. So grab the C-stand and the sandbag. So that way you're not getting C-stand, coming to set, and then they're like, oh, do you have a sandbag? And you're like, oh, I don't have it. And then you have to go back and get it. So like you're just wasting time, so anticipate. If one piece of equipment always comes with another, bring both, make that anticipation and bring both to set. So let's say you're a gaffer and your DP is lighting the scene with quasar tubes, right? So quasar tubes are those long LED light tubes and they have wireless control and they're battery powered. They're really cool. And so let's say your DP is like, oh, let's grab one quasar tube and put it over in this corner over here. Don't just bring the one and get it ready. Get a couple of them, get multiples ready so that they say they just want the one. Chances are they're probably gonna want another one. So anticipate that by having, more than one ready to go. Another lighting example, let's say, you're lighting this scene with a sky panel, like an S60 sky panel. And the DP is like, oh yeah, we need one over here, get two of them ready. Have it outside in your staging area. Another one completely sled up on a stand with its with its ballast and cables ready to go. Again, we're all about anticipating in this video. So just anticipate that when someone asks for one, get another one ready. Like have it ready to go with everything else that comes with it to bring it in so that you don't have to waste that time getting it off the truck, setting it on the stand, plugging in the cables, like have it ready to go. So for the camera team, let's say you're an assistant camera person, right? Or you're even the DP. And let's say you're shooting a sunset scene that goes into blue hour, right? The sun sets and you get that really pretty blue hour lighting. As that sun's going down, it's gonna start to get darker and darker and darker. And you're gonna have a high, ND filter in your camera. Let's say you're gonna have like an ND 2.1 in your camera because of the bright sun and you're getting that nice silhouette sunset. But then as it's going down, that light is going to be getting less and less, and so you're going to start to underexpose. So what you want to do as a camera person, as an assistant, is have all those NDs ready. So have like, you know, say you're starting at a 2.1, you're very quickly, as that sun is setting, gonna be changing them out really quickly. So you're gonna go down from like a 2.1 to a 1.8 to a 1.5 to a 1.2 to a 9 to a 6 and then to a 3 until you don't need them anymore because it's getting so dark. So you don't want to have those filters, you know, 20 feet away. You want to have them right there next to the camera. And if you're doing a scene like that, you should know, you know, oh, I should have all these filters ready to go because these are gonna start to change every few minutes. So anticipate that and have them right there with you so you're not wasting time, because literally every minute counts. And so you want to be able to change those filters really quick. You know, always be aware what's happening on set. You know, maybe you hear the director and a DP or, you know, the producer talking like, oh, maybe we should try this wardrobe instead, or maybe we should try, you know, this little bit of lighting differently, or whatever, or maybe a different camera angle, or whatever it is. You know, kind of keep an ear tuned to that. And if there's something you can do to kind of get ready for that, because chances are they might want to like look at it at least. They may not decide on it as the final thing, but they're probably going to at least take a look at it. So you can kind of like get things ready for them to look at that, so that you're like a couple steps ahead of them for when they do ask for it. So there's also the other side of the coin, and it's kind of this funny saying that we say on set, and it goes, stay ahead, do nothing. So basically, sometimes the best way to stay ahead and anticipate is to do nothing, right? Because on a film set, things are constantly changing. It can change from minute to minute or even from second to second. You know, sometimes it's best to just wait and let the people, you know, let the adults, as we call them, on set, let them figure out exactly what they want to do. So one way that this, you know, stay ahead, do nothing works really well. Let's say you've just finished a shot. The director's happy with all it takes, and so now they're trying to figure out, they have a couple options of where they can go next. So they could either go do a close-up over here, or they could do another wide shot over here, or a close-up, you know, they have a couple different options of where they can move the camera and do the next shot, right? So, you know, maybe the DP and the director are trying to figure it out. You know, that next shot, whatever it is going to involve all the departments on set, right? So, you know, the set dressing is going to have to change. The lighting will probably have to change. The lens on the camera will have to change. The camera position will have to change. Maybe it's a wardrobe change. You know, maybe it's a makeup change. It could literally involve all departments in the decision that they're about to make, whether you go to this shot or you go to this other shot next. They're figuring it out, and then, oh wait, actually we're gonna go back and do another take. So like, if you've already started moving camera and doing all this stuff as they're trying to figure it out, and then it happens all the time, they're gonna be like, wait, we wanna go back. I wanna try something else in that shot we were just doing. So like, you know, maybe they want a different performance or something out of the actor. Or maybe the client comes in and there's like, oh, we actually want to try this thing out. We want to do a little bit different. You know, that's a good example of when it's best to stay ahead by doing nothing. Because you never know, like, they could be thinking about moving on, but then all of a sudden a flag gets thrown. They're like, wait, we have to go back. We forgot to get this one line, or whatever it is. They have to go back and do that same shot you were literally just doing. And if you are properly anticipating, hopefully, you did nothing. So the camera's still there, and then you can just bring the actor back in and then just do another take. So it's kind of this funny, like, fine line and like a balance of just kind of, the more you're on set, the more you'll get experience in this anticipation and when it's best to do nothing. So sometimes, you know, you'll just step back and kind of wait for people to figure out what they want to do. So anticipating on a film set is the skill that you'll get better at over time as you're working more and more in your specific department. And so you'll kind of learn when it's best to kind of go get something ready, or if it's best to just do nothing. And then it's just impossible to anticipate everything, right? You can anticipate as much as you can or as much as you want, but there's gonna be things that no one's gonna see coming, right? Maybe it starts raining, right? You have to figure out what you're gonna have to do. Or maybe something breaks, and so you're gonna have to figure out what your new alternative is gonna be, because that, you know, maybe a prop broke, or, you know, something, whatever it was that you guys needed, and it broke, and now you're gonna have to figure out, are you gonna have to go get another one, or are you just gonna have to like work around it? You know, that's stuff you can't really anticipate, and you're just gonna have to adapt and figure it out as you go. That pretty much does it for this video. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments below or by giving it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. I'll see you in the next one. Going off walkie.